Thinking of producing music for other people, I created a studio in Machi, India, so that I can create other productions for people. After that, I realized that there was a birth of the promoters. Now, the promoters were not giving chance to a singer to do his own show. So I started realizing that now the introduction of the promoter is to be the broker of my money that I would be getting as Ragadi. Now, that is the fall of the industry. The other fall of the industry began when they introduced the flash, the digital flash. Now, people who are getting 5,000 started getting now 1 million songs on the flash. So there's no way a person is going to pay for 10 songs if he has a chance of getting 1 million songs. Now the flash has killed everything totally. That's why people are doing launches in Uganda and you'll never see a simple CD given to the crowd because they don't have the system that can help them sell CD by CD is now not there. Now, after the digital platforms that are taking content started cheating people by thinking they are helping you to promote your music while they are making money. So the industry had the chance only to do the shows. Now the shows were owned by promoters. After the promoters lost it, the shows started being owned by big companies like MTN or Airtel. Now you cannot advertise a show against MTN because MTN is a very big economic muscle. So everyone had to either go to MTN or Airtel to do a show. Now if they say we are not promoting you, you can't do a show. That is the death of the shows. The death of the copyright came with UPRS, the collecting society that would help to get the loyalties of the artists. Now, first of all, they did not have the number of artists that are in Uganda. Secondly, they did not know which artist has sold more albums than the other because the CD is not selling, the YouTube is not selling, the calculation is not right. So, digitally we failed. Physically, the shows failed. Now, the artists fall into the trap of politics. When the artists fall into the trap of politics, is all politicians start using artists to do mobilization. Now, way back in 2006, we started doing mobilization for NRM, and we were hired and paid big money, more than what you'd get for a show, to be on campaign trail for the president. Now, what I realized is I was the first person. I was hired by the Secretary General by then, who was my very good friend, Mr. Mama Mbabazi, and he told me, can you get me artists to be mobilizers? I created a group of people, Baby Cool, Fina Masanyalaze, Catherine Kusasira, Juliana. I created everyone, all artists. I put them on the trail. So we started doing campaign trails. Now, every campaign trail I was paid 5 million. I would just drive to every district and I perform 3 times a day, 3 rallies. So I realized that I was making a lot of money. 5 million per show. I would never do those shows in Kampala. So I was in Katakwi, Amudat, Moroto, Kabong. Those in 4 shows, I already have 20 million. I said, no, this is the best thing I have to do now. So, I said, I'll drive my car and finish the whole rally trail and calculate how much money I've made. I started discovering that the shows take me a lot of money to organize. It takes me a lot of money to advertise. But the rallies, I just come and make it, and people come. Now, why I call it a trap? People started realizing that every artist that goes on stage, Kasese knows him. Mbarara knows him, Gulu knows him. That is how we all fell in the trap of saying, but I think if these politicians are strong, we are also strong. Because we just hold the microphone once and the whole village comes. So if I have a message to tell them, I think it is better. So most of us had different opinions. Me, my opinion was like, I know the people of Kampala know me from A to Z, and I said, but I know they have problems. So I started thinking, but now, since I've done rallies in Kampala, I can put my brains to what I've done as business to help people to survive in Kampala. All of a sudden in 2011, I started getting ideas of how politicians work, how parliament works, how the divisions work, and what is needed for people to be helped. I realized that so many people had come through me. I used to take artists to London, to America to perform. Then I said, but why don't I help the natives, the Ugandans, the Kampala people? In 2015, I decided to get the papers to become a Lord Mayor of Kampala. So I have lived in Kampala. I was born in Kampala. I have lived with Kampalans, and I knew the problems of Kampala. I said, let me start with telling them, Nangesolo Bayamba. So that is how I entered into competitive politics. I started narrating my stories, where I've come from. I started talking to the people. I started telling people what I can do. I started engaging people on different political platforms like TVs and radios. Then people started telling me, I think you have ideas that can help us. All you need is to have a proper position that is, you are voted. So 2016, that is how I came into politics. And in 2016 I lost. But between 2016 and 2020, I have been working on different projects. I've been helping border people. I've been helping ladies in markets. I've been helping artists to go abroad to perform, to get some money. I've been helping people who go to work in the UAE, people who go to work in America, people who go to work in Canada. I've been assisting teams of people, different groups, like the Bouncers Association Uganda. I got them land and we started farming. So from being bouncers, now they are versatile in farming. Now that is one of those things that I was trying to do to see that I can help Ugandans or Kampala people to change their mindset, to change their livelihood. When I started helping the people who are doing cottage industry, like small, making bars of soap, making liquid soap, making mats, I started getting money from Microfinance Support Center to see that I help these people in Kampala. So the reason why I wanted to become a Lord Mayor is the problems of Kampala, you can sort them out. But when you are given an administrative office, you cannot be of help if you don't have an office that doesn't have a budget to help the people. Because I realized that in Kampala, people don't have capital. I realized that in Kampala, housing is very, very, very difficult. People live in the ghettos like Asokoso, people live in the ghettos like Kabao, Industrial Bwaise, people live like in areas like Kosovo, Lusaze. The way they're living is not easy. Poor drainage system, poor garbage collection, poor sanitation, no toilets. I realized that there is a lot of trouble. The borders are not given chance to learn how they can acquire riding permits. The taxi drivers are not registered. No one knows. Are not certain. The stages are not right. The people don't know where they have to board a taxi from. So these are small things that do not need any foreign investors. We can do them ourselves. Drainage is a simple thing. We know where the water comes from. We know where the water is going. We know how we can set it. Garbage collection. We know how many people live in a house. We know what we can do to help the garbage to be collected. Joblessness. We need to know how many houses have how many youth, and which youth, what have they studied, what do they want to do. So I wanted to create what they call a job center in the 5 divisions of Kampala. Job centers is there are places where people would go and say, I'm looking for a job. Because now, if people live in Kasokoso, in Banda, and there's a job in Kampala, it is difficult for them to know where to go, who to talk to, how to acquire the job. Some people have not gone to school. When someone talks about resume, when someone talks about, you write about yourself, you can't, because you came from the ghetto. There's no you'll narrate a ghetto story to UBC. I've come to work, but I live in Kosovo, and my father is jobless, my mother is jobless. They will never give you a job because you do not identify with the people where you're asking the job from. But if we did job centers, every division has different youth numbers, every division has different needs. Now, people of Bwaise, I would think there are more garages, more carpentry systems, more car wash. You need to know exactly that, can I create a carpentry in Kololo? The youth in Kololo don't need a carpentry. The youth in Kololo maybe need a car wash for the rich men who are living in Kololo to come and clean their cars. The youth in Rubaga, what do they need? There are more garages in Rubaga than garages in Nakawa. So then would think in Nakawa there are more factories. You can see where they are working on clothes in fine spinners. Those are factories. But then you discover that there are no factories in Central. So there's only one Mukwano factory. Now after Central, you would go and think if there are car workshops in Waise, car workshops in Soba, then you'd think, what do they need in Nakawa? What do they need in Central? So at the end of the day, I want to be a leader who understands the demographics, who understands the divisions, who understands the people who are there. And for the good thing that I've done research, between these 4 years, I've managed to go to markets to know what is the difficulty in the market. Now, markets like Chitintale market has 2 land owners, and they pay, the stall owners are paying the landlords instead of paying maybe to the KCCA, which I would think if Kampala had markets, cheap markets, everyone would have a chance to sell their merchandise. But because of the expensive markets, people do not own stores, they have become Batembei. I come from NRM because it is a strong party. I come from NRM because it is an ideological party. I come from NRM because it is the ruling party. I come from NRM because I like the ideas and the strategy of NRM. I would be of any other party, but just like you are born, I was born in Muganda. Even if I like Acholi, I cannot become a Micholi because I am a Muganda. That is 1. 2, if my father was a Muslim, I automatically become a Muslim. So, if this is my tribe, if this is my religion, if this is my party, I think I do not want to mix service with the multi-partism. I want to say that I'm NRM because I like the ideology. I'm NRM because I made a decision. I'm NRM because I'm free to go to a party I want. I'm NRM because I think it is NRM that can change this country to better. On behalf of the entertainment group, I'm the chairman of the Uganda National Culture Forum. COVID has totally affected the music industry and the creatives. Studios can't work and the video guys can't work because to release an expensive song where the clubs are not working, how will you launch it? It's just like cooking good food that you won't eat. So at the end of the day, the clubs are not working, the music can't be played, the TVs, copyright enforcement cannot work. Otherwise, if it worked, the artists the content that the artists have done, but the artists are not earning. So COVID has done more harm than good. There is too much democracy in this country that we have misused the democracy. We go on soft media, Facebook Live, Twitter, we go on Insta, we go on all sorts of medias and say what we want to say. This is the only African country I have seen people insult the president and they are not arrested. This is the only African country where you can say what you don't know, where you can use vulgar words to insult a standing president or to insult an incumbent president. This is the only country where I've seen the clergy wake up and say what they want to say. It is the only country where people are free to express their views. It's the only country where I've seen the cyber police does not arrest anyone. This is the only country where I've seen the rule of law. People just say what they feel they want to say. But I pray that after elections, Uganda stays the same. Because I'll tell you one thing, the 14th is not the end of the world. When they vote for the president, the winner always takes it all. And there's more of Uganda than election. Actually, election is a small action. Uganda is reality. Uganda is our motherland. Uganda is our home. Uganda is our father, our mother, our house where we live. But Uganda is not, the election is not bigger than Uganda. After election, after 14th, after 5 days from now, people will go back to their normal jobs. The ones who have lost will have lost, the ones who have won will have won. So it is God's plan that everything that we do, let us do it. Let us do things, and let's not think that elections are bigger than Uganda. My prayer is, I want a better Uganda. I want a very well expressed Uganda. I want a very organized Uganda. And I want a peaceful Uganda with a peaceful election. Me, what I think right now is after the 14th, the anger, the laughter, let us put everything together and we create what they call peace and life after election to be nice.